Hey guys, welcome back to Past and Amazing, and today we're going to be talking about 8 things that were removed from Clash of Clans. So basically these are 8 things that used to be in the game, but for one reason or the other, sometimes good reasons, sometimes not so good reasons, Supercell removed these things from Clash of Clans. We're going to be talking about these 8 features in just a second, but right before I get into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel if you have not already, and you turn on my notifications for all my latest uploads. I post the latest Clash of Clans updates, news, and leaks. And yeah guys, let's go ahead and get right into this list, starting off with number 1, the Waterfall. So if you guys have been playing this game for a while, and I mean a long while, like 2012, 2013 age, then you might remember the Waterfall. The Waterfall was in the game a long time ago, and basically on the right side of your village, there would be like a waterfall, and this wouldn't have any features with it. Like you couldn't like take this waterfall into a new village or anything. It was just sort of there as sort of like a decoration type of thing. But then Supercell removed the waterfall, and they stated that this was because the waterfall was taking up like too much processing power to keep that waterfall running 24/7 whenever you're opening your game. So they just took that out because it didn't really have any value at all. More of an aesthetic feature that consumed way too many resources, and they just had to take it out. However, people have taken screenshots of this waterfall way back in the day, and we still do have images of what this waterfall looks like, so we will never forget the waterfall, guys. Alright, moving on to number 2, we've got the ability to sell buildings. So way back in the day, you could actually sell your buildings. Like literally, you could click on any of your buildings, say like your wall, or even say your like gold storage. You could click on it and you could click sell, and you could immediately sell that building. Now, sounds like a great idea, but the problem with this is that you'd have people who like sell all their gold storages, and then suddenly they have no way of storing any of their gold. So there's actually this one player that's really interesting. This guy, basically he played the game like right when it came out, and since then he's quit. But basically he's a maxed out Town Hall 8 with no storages and no collectors at all. Like it's actually crazy. I made a video on this guy a while back. I'm going to be putting up some images on the screen right now. But the fact that you used to be able to do this is insane. Like people were doing all sorts of crazy stuff with selling their buildings whenever they wanted practically. So eventually Supercell had to take this feature out, and nowadays the only thing we can sell are decorations. We can no longer sell our gold storage, or we can no longer sell our heroes or whatever we want. Alright, number 3 is the stone obstacle. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to put up an image on the screen right now. This is the special stone obstacle that very few players have in their villages. This is an obstacle that used to be in the game a very long time ago. I'd say like 2012, 2013 era. And if you were playing at that time, it's possible that you could have gotten this obstacle. However, it's a stone, meaning that stones don't respawn. So if you ever removed this obstacle because you didn't know that Supercell would one day remove this, then that's too bad. But for the very few players that for some reason they did not remove this special stone obstacle, and they've been playing the game since the beginning, then they might have this in their villages. And I do remember there was this one player who had this special stone obstacle, and a bunch of YouTubers made videos on this guy. Like this is the only guy that we know who has this obstacle, and it's super rare. If he ever decides to remove it, he will never get it back because it's never gonna spawn again, and Supercell's never gonna make them spawn again in any village at any time. Alright, let's move on to number 4 on this list, which is the ability to upgrade level 7 walls with Elixir. So as you guys know right now, you can upgrade level 9 and above walls, not just with gold, but also you have the option to upgrade with Elixir. This feature was basically introduced so that Town Hall 9s, Town Hall 10s, and Town Hall 11s wouldn't have a ton of Elixir stockpiled, and obviously this makes upgrading walls like 2 times faster, because now you can use both of your resources to upgrade those walls. Now, what you guys may not know is that when this feature was first introduced, you could actually upgrade level 7 and level 8 walls with Elixir also. So basically Town Hall 8s and even Town Hall 7s were down there upgrading their walls with Elixir. This may not sound like a bad idea at first, But the problem with this is that Town Hall 7s and Town Hall 8s were using all their elixir towards walls, and suddenly there was a huge shortage of elixir when you were trying to farm. Everyone was using all their elixir, so no one had any elixir in their storages, and the elixir supply in the whole cycle became very, very limited. So what Supercell eventually did was they took out the ability to upgrade level 7 and level 8 walls with elixir, only having it start at level 9 and above. So now it's back to normal, where a lot of Town Hall 8s will have maxed out elixir storages, and now the whole elixir supply is no longer in shortage. Alright, number 5 on this list is Inferno Towers blocking the heal effect. This one is a more recent change. In the last winter update, Supercell removed the ability of the Inferno Towers to block healing. For the longest time, and ever since the Inferno Tower was introduced, this feature was one of the most key aspects of the Inferno Tower. This means that no matter how many healers you have on your troops, no matter how many heal spells you have, no matter what levels your heal spells are, as long as your troops are being targeted by an Inferno Tower, they cannot be healed. Then Supercell for some reason decided to remove this feature in the last update, and now I can just pull up my Archer Queen to an Inferno Tower. She has healers on her, she will still get healed even though the Inferno Tower is hitting her. Now more people are switching to single targeted Inferno Towers because they're just simply more powerful. If you have multi-targeted Inferno Towers, they barely do any damage, and now you can't even block the healing effect, so really the advantage of having multi-target Infernos is severely limited. This is one of those changes which I'm not sure why Supercell did. Why are they making it so much easier for attackers to destroy your Town Hall 11 base? And why did they severely weaken the flagship Town Hall 10 defense? I really have no idea, but this is a change that they did make, and this feature was removed. Alright, moving on to number 6, the ability for Teslas to do 2 times damage to PEKKAs. This is something that was removed a little while back, not too long ago though, where PEKKAs used to have 2 times damage done to them by hidden Teslas. Now Supercell changed it so that Teslas no longer do this extra damage to PEKKAs. I think part of the reason why Supercell did this is because PEKKAs were not really used that much. So I think this was a way for Supercell to get people to use PEKKAs more, and it may have worked a little bit, but I don't think Supercell significantly improved the usage of the PEKKA. Alright, number 7 on this list is skeletons triggering traps. Now back in the day, I say like 2015 and before, skeletons could trigger traps. This means skeletons from witches. The reason why Supercell removed this ability of these skeletons is because when Town Hall 11 came out and people were using mass witches all over the place, the 3-star other max out Town Hall 11s, witches were powerful because their skeletons would run up ahead of them, trigger all the giant bombs and all the other traps, and by the time the witches got there, there'd be no traps for them to go through, and that's why it was so easy to 3-star other bases. So Supercell realized the skeletons are the reason why the witches are so powerful, so then they removed the ability of the skeletons to trigger traps. Now unfortunately what that did is that made the witches a lot weaker, and for the next like 2 years or so, witches were so weak that practically no one used them. Nowadays, Supercell has buffed the witch in other ways by making it have more health and making it spawn more skeletons at once. Little changes like that, but back in the day, they were way more powerful, partly due to the skeleton feature. Alright, last one on this list is number 8, healers being immune to air traps. So the first phase was that healers were not immune to air traps at all. They're just normal air units. Seeking air mines would hit them and air bombs would hit them and everything was normal. Then Supercell said, hey, we don't think people are using healers enough, so we're gonna make it so that healers are immune to air traps. So now seeking air mines and air bombs cannot hit the healer. Then suddenly healer usage went way up, so this is a buff that actually had a significant effect. People started using Queen Walk, people started using Giant Healer, and all these strategies that involved the healer. And then eventually Supercell's like, whoa, people are using healers too much, we think they're actually too powerful now, so we're gonna nerf them again by making them no longer immune to air traps, and that's where we are now. Alright guys, that is basically going to be it for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, definitely go ahead and give it a like down below, and also subscribe to my channel for more Clash of Clans content. I post the latest Clash of Clans updates, news, and leaks. Also, do make sure to turn on my notifications for all my latest uploads. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Peace out.